I'm Jim Miller, Miller Fencing, and I've been trading for 10 years, and I've been solely using Jackson's products for probably the last 6 or 7 now. We gave up with the other products because of substandard quality, and I just wasn't happy offering it as an option. So now we tell people that it's purely Jackson's or nothing. I just don't believe that offering a substandard product is worth it. So there are cheaper alternatives, and we were offering those, and that would end up they would fail, and it just wasn't the way I wanted to carry on, having to go back and replace stuff free of charge because the quality of the product wasn't good enough. So we subsequently just use Jackson's now, just as a rule of thumb. We gave up using the inferior products, the lesser products, because of their inability to withstand like the Jackson's products do, and I just felt that I wasn't doing myself any favours by offering it as an option. If the stakes fail and we go back within 3-4 years, I didn't like that. So I have the confidence in the Jackson's product to install it knowing that it will be there for the 25 years plus. I mean, we've taken out stuff that's 25 years old and I could put it up again. We've done that, and that's an education for me, because you would just you take the posts out the ground and they're good enough to reconcrete back in. Well, we took a fence out of a gentleman's back garden, and he'd been so happy with the product because it had lasted him so well that he wanted a new equivalent put back in. And when we took the fence out, I could have put it back in again because it was that good and had lasted that well, bearing in mind that it was 25 years old plus. And that's a case with a few fences that people have still got that I repair locally on a basis for them. Just go back and sort bits out. But the fences have been there since, say, the hurricane in '87, and they're still standing now. And people are very pleased with that, and that's a big selling point to me. And I feel I can then push the product and be happy that I'm not pushing a false product, which I would be with anything else, a substandard product, which I could buy just because it's cheaper. The garden fences are more what we do, but the agricultural stuff is as good as, and I could say the same for it. I mean, we put in the Jackson stuff purely because the same applies. I just don't want to have to go back and explain to the people, the customer, that I've put in cheap stakes because it's what they wanted. Because customers expect those stakes to last as well. They don't expect them to fail within 3 to 7 years. So if I can convince the customer and to change his mindset from paying for the cheaper option to buying the more expensive option, which would be Jackson's, that customer's always going to be happier. The cheap stakes last about 3 years. They might last 4 or 5, but these days we're seeing them go within 3 years, and that's pretty standard across the board. That's no one in particular. That's just the sort of general stakes that are on the market, the softwood stakes that aren't treated to the same spec. So if the fence does fail because you've put in cheaper stakes, then you've got to get us back with all our costs, transport, labour, to re-establish the fence, just for the fact that you didn't pay the extra in the first place, and that is false economy.